We're starting this video. I'm gonna turn it up a little bit. It's Taylor Swift's Shake It Off. This is the topic of this subject today. Just think about it. So what came up this morning when talking with somebody is this like beautiful struggle that we go through. Forgive me, my little tickle of the angels on my nose. It's when, like I said, like dealing with somebody who is dealing with something like we've dealt with it, we deal with it, we have, whatever. But then we're relatable to them, and we can understand when I'm watching somebody go through like a release, if there becomes this struggle, this ego struggle. Like, how would I know that unless I saw it within myself? Like, we are the ones with a thought, a belief. Like, my beliefs and my thoughts used to really put me into a state of like internal conflict with what maybe the outside world was. I felt like the outside world is doing this to me. And then once I started to go in and go, hold on here. I'm giving way too much of my power away to say that if that person does that, then they have. I'm turning this off because I know that ring will come in. Perfect. Should have thought of that before. But every thought is in divine time always. It's like everything is like, hey, you might want to like pay attention to this. Like, oh, I overlooked that. So let's get into it. So when we are dealing with people and it sparks an emotion in us. If not, we would be like, someone says, wow, you're a pink elephant and you have a unicorn thing on your head, and wow, like, you're fat pink elephant. You're like, okay. Because there would be like no truth to it. You'd just be like, oh wow, I'm a fat pink elephant with a unicorn head. Like, wow, that's how that person sees me. Huh. So it's not about adjusting their perception. Instead of saying, no, I'm not a pink elephant with a unicorn head. It's like, think just let people be wherever they want to be, and they can have any perception based on how we show up for ourselves first. That's a really cool breakthrough for me, was to show up first for myself. I was spending all that time showing up for everybody else. Like, wow, if I can make that person happy, then I know they're okay, then I am okay. And then that person, okay, if I make them okay, I'm okay. And you know what? Every time I would walk them through it, or they would just have a new story. And when I looked at them, I looked at myself and I thought, how many crappy stories have I told, not only myself, but people in my life, unknowingly, just telling stories that, like, I'm not good enough. I'm only valued if I have this. People betray me. People are not safe. I mean, there's all these beliefs that can be in there. And I really love the opportunity to look at each belief, each individual belief. Sometimes I'll take a whole day. Sometimes I'll take a few days. It depends on, can I get to the root of the problem? Can I get to the root of the belief? So if I have to water the dirt, move the soil, start digging it up. I want to get to the very bottom of the root. And so this is what I say to myself and to everyone, like, don't just pull it, go in. When you pull it, pull the roots, the belief, and then it will just be something we observe. Then when we look at something going on, we're like, we're just observers. It's no longer trigger that belief in me. That changes. And so when I come up against something and I'm like, all right, I'm up against this. Well, my first step is to say, I surrender. Like, it was Einstein that said, the consciousness that got us to where we are. And I'm totally blowing the quote up. So, I mean, messing it up. So please forgive. But the consciousness that got us to where we are cannot get us to where we're going. And so when I'm sitting in a consciousness looking around going, and it's small things sometimes. It's like, I would like to see that difference. It's not all about having it all at once, which I used to love, like the whole idea of like a windfall. And then I would think that would be a lot of responsibility. To all of a sudden just have a windfall of the energy of financial wealth come in, because I've had a pretty good amount before, and I didn't know how to like regulate it. Like, I just was like, oh my God, woo, blew through it. But now there's a whole new level of respect and understanding that having a lot of money has a lot of responsibility behind it. And when you have a lot of money, there's a lot of people that want the energy of the money that you've created. It's all energy. So I had to break through that to say, I need to be exactly who I am, be very like solid with my beliefs and life, and trust myself. And when I can trust myself, then now bring it on. Now let's use this abundance of this energy we call money. Now when the abundance flows in, now we know how to, where do we put that energy? We don't want to hold on to it. We don't want to hold on to it. That doesn't mean you don't have an abundance, but we want the flow to continue to go, the flow to continue to go. Whether it be love, financial wealth, spiritual wealth, emotional wealth. It's all mind, body, and spirit. And when we start to go ahead and go in and go, wow, I didn't even know that I had that belief or that fear around money. I had no idea that I feared if I got it again. Once again, I wouldn't know what to do with it. And I wouldn't know how to share it. It's the same as like having the energy of love come in. This energy of love comes in. It's just like, it's here. It's just the same thing. It's like a vibration. And it's like, if it's here, it wants to be shared, or it gets to be like this. And then it gets that momentum, and then it wants to go out into the world. Compassion. It builds here, and then it wants to go out into the world. Feeling safe. It's here. It wants to go out into the world. Feeling loved. It wants to go out into the world. Feeling loved. Feeling love. It's all one. It's the Taurus. So when we feel love, we we feel and we can give it, and then we can also feel and receive it. It's all about the balance of it. The other thing that's coming in is that when we observe people that are maybe frustrated or angry or lots of, all those emotions, if we can just ask them, go deeper than that emotion. So if it's anger, go deeper and look. And when we find the fear, the scared child, the part of us that is just wanting to be seen and heard and loved and accepted. So we bring that in, we accept it. I was always one that had a really easy time sharing love, but a very difficult time receiving it, only because I had to read through, was this love? Is this love? What is the intention? And when I discovered real love, true love, I mean, it was by getting in the mirror and doing mirror work, Louise Hay's work. My goodness. And also doing videos and watching myself be fully present with the moment. Because when I'm just thinking and I'm also having these moments, they happen all the time. But to watch it actually unfold in the physical form and be able to look back and remember, because it's so easy to just go, I know what I was feeling in that moment, and just like a trigger, it goes right back into that feeling of, everything is okay. I mean, everything is okay. And once we start telling ourselves that, and everything is going on in the universe simultaneously, it's all going on. It's all going on. Nothing we can do to change all that. Just open your heart. And then we pull in the energy we want to experience. All experiences are happening. What do we want to experience in this totality of everything happening all at once? What vibration? And each moment requires that moment. Even my desire, my biggest desire was to just be able to sit in a space where I could spend a few months and I could just, just get honest with myself, and just, there was not a lot of the outside world. Everything is, comfortably provided. So then it allowed me to go into the inside world. And not always a fun place to go. Not always a fun place to go. And there were moments where it was incredibly difficult. Yeah. There were moments I didn't know I was going to make it through it, because of there was a lot of external experiences that were affecting the internal balance environment inside. So it felt like a separation within myself. So the thoughts, the past, the regrets, all those things. And then in here, I just felt very loved, safe, compassionate, like on, just, it's okay. It's okay. So that became my battle, which was the mind got stronger. It gets stronger. It loves to try to come in. It still does. It tries to come in stronger. And then it's like somebody who was trying to like bully you, and it like starts to flex their muscles and put their shoulders up to their ears to protect their neck because we're going into battle. And you just go, I'm not going into battle with you. Get out. That thought serves me not at all. And then by moment, we continue to stand up for ourselves and say, not today, not on my watch. We stand up for ourselves. I was always looking for somebody to stand up for me, but it was me who needed to stand up for me and just say, my truth is not everybody's truth. My beliefs, definitely not. The way I live, definitely not. Nothing about me is anything I want to project onto anyone. It's just that heart opening, that love. Yes. That love. And even if people don't want to receive it, if they're like, this is too mushy for me, because it is kind of a mushy subject. It was for me for a lot of years. I was like, what are you talking about? Love, intimacy, what? No. It was very foreign to me. It was very uncomfortable to anything to be intimate or to be connected, or like, I knew how to do the drama fighting, the energy, I knew how to do that. That was comfortable. And then the soul just kept calling me in, and it was just like, it became more increasingly uncomfortable to be in that vibration. So we just retrain. I don't know that the work I'm doing with all these beautiful teachers was the work that changed it, or did that inside, that God, that higher self be the one that provoked it to change? It's like the chicken or the egg. Did I do the work and it happened? Or did it happen and I had to do the work? It happened and then I had to do the work because it's already happened. And that's the Akashic record stuff. So that's a little bit kind of like over my head right now. So anyway, everybody just take a dropping breath, and literally just, sometimes we just need to like shake our body and just give it energy. We forget. There we go. Just give it energy and just, can you already feel that? Just like run your hands. There you go. Try to uncross my feet. Just run the energy. Just move it. There we go. Just move it. And remember that we're doing a lot of good work every day. If we have learned something about ourselves or about another person to teach us to be more loving and compassionate, that's a really good day. That's the best day ever. I'm not really sure who said it, but it was, ask love, what would you have me do today? And I wrote it down, and I'm not sure who said it, and please forgive me for that. But it just like, what would love, I believe it was Mel Robbins. What would love have me do today? And that when I start my day with that one question, it just unfolds very organically. All right, I surrender. I let go of the will here. Let's let this organically. Every information that we need to find, every contact we need to come in contact with, all the financial wealth, all the spiritual wealth, all the loving wealth, all the friend wealth, all the family wealth, all of it just goes like this. And then when we receive it, we are prepared to receive it, to respect it. Think about how many of us get into relationships, done it, and then stopped truly, fully appreciating the other person. And then we go, where'd the relationship go? Because I stopped nurturing it. So this is an energy we want to nurture every day. This is the love with self. This is the relationship every day. It's the I am. It's that connection to God every day. Love, respect, acknowledgement. Start with the mirror. Start with the camera. I see you. I hear you. And then the soul goes, wow, you hear me. You held space for me to get all this out. That's really cool. So then it feels as if everything just starts to come into alignment, because it's like the mind, body, and spirit is being heard. Now the body will start to talk. Oh, I got this ache. Talk to the ache. Let's bring you into the equation. Mind, body, and spirit. We're all one. Come on, let's bring it in. And then we bring it in. So I know this was really cool for me. And making the videos has brought me closer to myself with respect, like, and accountability, like, and it's the best way to be. Put you first, love you first, have compassion for you. That's a big one. I've experienced a lot of people need a lot of compassion from me. And you can give it and you can give it and you can give it. But if they don't feel it or they cannot receive it, it's an empty well. You ain't never going to get to the bottom of that well. It's empty. So to everyone, wherever you are in your life, on your journey, if you're having a wonderful day, if you're having a terrible day, if you're having the dark night of the soul, if you just had something really terrible happen and got some good news, see how that slipped out? Got something terrible happen and you got some good news. That slipped out. That's because the good news is you're strong enough, capable enough, loving enough. I believe in you. We're all holding hands. Let's do this together. All right. Until we meet again.